the true story who wanted to play baseball more than anything else in life, helped him fulfill that ambition. This is the story of Willie Davis, the biography of a rookie. I'm Mike Wallace. I'm standing at home Coliseum. Home baseball, Gil Hodges, Jim Gilliam, Johnny Podres, and for every little leaguer, sandlotter, and there emerged an dream, the hope of someday wearing a Dodger uniform. A quarter of the Los Angeles area shared that dream, and one of them lived just from here. His name was Willie Davis, and this is his story. A fantastic journey through the world of baseball, the way he saw it, the way he lived it.
Actually, I lived 2 miles from school. Every time I had to run, I had to run 2 miles. 2 miles to school and 2 miles from school to get to my paper out. I just running up the hill, downhill, up, and never stopped running. So I get there and I was 2 or 3 minutes late, and everybody says, "Where you been, Willie?" I said, "I've been running."
He went to Theodore Roosevelt High in East Los Angeles, near the industrial section of town. Like most boys in his class, Willie didn't know quite where he was going. When you're 18 years old, you live in the present. You figure the future will come sooner or later. So Willie took school as it came. But when he stepped on the athletic field, Willie entered a special world of his own. In his senior year, his broad jump mark of 25.5 was the best high school effort in the country. His natural talent amazed his coaches as he smashed records in track and basketball. But of all the sports he played, baseball fascinated him most.
Ever since Willie was 12 years old, he always liked to play baseball, and he always kept a bat behind the door. And whenever he would come home from school, he would grab his bat, and I knew he was home.
With the Dodgers now in Los Angeles, every kid in the neighborhood went baseball crazy, especially Willie and his brother Tommy. All his mother heard around the house was baseball. Baseball, baseball. Willie's skill as a ball player for Roosevelt High earned him a citywide reputation. And one day, Kenny Myers, a scout from the Los Angeles Dodgers, came to watch him play. Kenny had settled down near Los Angeles with his family after a career as a player and manager in the minor leagues. He used his vast experience to find and develop new players. Kenny wasn't particularly impressed by Willie's pitching or hitting, but he did like the way Willie ran.
Starters, go to your marks.
At the game, Kenny learned that Willie was Roosevelt's greatest track star. In fact, the best all-round athlete at Roosevelt High in years.
Get set.
Kenny had his own special theory. Find a great natural athlete with superb speed, start from scratch, and you could build him into a big leaguer in just a few years. Willie Davis had all the elements. But for Kenny, there was one unknown factor. Would Willie be interested in professional baseball?
I walked down and I asked him how he felt about being a professional ball player. If he'd ever even given it a thought. He said he had thought about it all of his life. That was his biggest ambition. I told him that he would have to put a lot of time with baseball. It wasn't something that he was going to just do overnight, something that he could walk into and become a star right off.
Willie had an important decision to make. Kenny offered to work with him after graduation to see if Willie really had the makings of a professional ball player. But Kenny couldn't guarantee that it would lead to a Dodger contract. At the same time, UCLA had offered Willie an athletic scholarship. It didn't take long for Willie to make up his mind. It was baseball all the way, the chance of becoming a Dodger, and he just couldn't wait for school to end. This was the start of an exciting new life for Willie Davis. He was to attend a very special baseball academy in which he was the only student and Kenny the only teacher. Kenny held class all over the city. The first session started early one morning at Wrigley Field, and Willie was in for a surprise.
Well, when Kenny came up to me and asked me how would I like to turn around from batting right to left, I says, well, actually, I thought to myself, I says, well, I'm naturally a left-hander, and I just haven't tried batting left-handed before, so I said, well, maybe it won't be too hard, because I throw left-handed and I do everything left-handed, so why not try batting left-handed?
I wanted Willie to switch from a right-handed hitter to a left-handed hitter, because with his tremendous speed and it being closer by about 3 feet from the left side of the plate than it would be from the right side of the plate to first base, I felt that it would be a big asset to him.
I turned around and I started swinging. At first, it didn't seem real to me. I don't know, some way it just didn't seem right. But then after I worked on it 4, 5, 6 times, everything started falling into place, and I began to think it was a good idea after all.
I set up a pole in Wrigley Field to show Willie how to throw.
Kenny had another surprise. Willie's pitching days were over. Kenny would teach him to play center field, where his tremendous speed would help him cover a lot of territory. But first, Willie had to develop a strong throwing arm.
We'd go out there and we'd just throw for maybe a half an hour, and he'd tell me this, do it this way, and I'd say, okay, and I'd get tired, you know, because there's a lot of work, and I said, but it was worth it, you know.
After the workout was over, we spent many hours reminiscing what we could do to correct the mistakes that he had made during the day, and did not realize actually what kind of a boy Willie really was until I got closer to him and found out that he was a type of individual that he just wanted to be the best. He didn't want to be second. He wanted to be number one.
Yeah, when Kenny would come to my house sometimes, and he would bring these funny little tools, like I remember one, he bought the tennis racket. I said, what are we going to do, play tennis? And he says, no, this is to give you the idea of the end of your bat. I says, well, I don't know what you're talking about. He says, I know you don't. That's what I'm going to do. I'm going to show you. And I says, okay, show me.
And Kenny showed him. He had a unique bag of tricks. Tennis rackets, volleyballs, and strange-looking bats. Kenny had reduced the art of batting to a science. Like a time study engineer, he had it all worked out. How to hit the ball, where to hit the ball, how to get power, and how to follow through. Willie was beginning to get tired of the drilling over and over again, from early morning to late at night. Like all kids, he wanted to get out and play baseball.
Many nights, Willie would come home tired and discouraged after his little sessions with Kenny there. So I'd come in, I said, well, Willie, let's go out and catch a few. And he said, no, he says, I'm tired. I've been working with Kenny all day, and I just can't make it now. I said, well, if you don't think you can make it now, you might as well forget it, because it takes a lot of practice to make the big leagues, and you're no good anyway. Why don't you just forget it? And he'd jump up right there, and he says, well, I see I have to prove something to you as well as everyone else. So he'd run outside there, and I'd come out, and we'd go through those routines from start to finish. And then Kenny'd come over the next day, and he was really impressed.
But Kenny was also impressed with Willie as a person. His confidence, his endless enthusiasm, his genuine sense of humor. And of course, Willie was an eager audience for Kenny's tales of the colorful world of baseball.
We used to go up to the press box at the Coliseum and watch the ball games.
Well, the first time I went with Kenny at Coliseum was like a whole new experience, you know, like starting school. You know, everything was different, and well, every time we'd see somebody hit a ball or something big, so exciting. You know, it was the first time I was actually looking at a Major League Baseball game. We'd sit up there and he'd point out to me these different mistakes that they would make, and he would always tell me, he says, see what they're doing now, you can't do that, because in the big leagues you can't afford to make mistakes. And he says, in the big leagues, that's the little things that keep you back. You always have to do the little things.
We used to watch the outstanding outfielders in the National League, such as Willie Mays, who was his favorite, Duke Snyder, Henry Aaron, and I would try to explain to Willie as to what positions they were in, how they were playing a left-handed hitter and a right-handed hitter, whether they were playing him to pull. And at the start, it was a little complicated to Willie, but having the opportunity to watch the stars, he got a pretty good idea of how the outfield should be played.
Even after the games, we'd go down onto the field, actually where they were playing, you know, and we'd try to recapture some of this stuff that we saw. He'd remind me what I saw in the game, and I'd try to comment, you know, what I thought about it. He said, did you see Willie Mays throw from the outfield? I said, yeah, it was terrific. He says, you think you can do that? I said, I think so.
After the game, Willie and I would sometimes walk clear into East Los Angeles, which was a good many miles from the ballpark, just talking baseball.
As the weeks passed, Kenny stepped up the training, bringing in new gadgets to help with batting instruction. The breaks between practice sessions got shorter and shorter.
Willie used to work out with me until his hands bled. I asked him to put on gloves, and he said that it just didn't feel comfortable wearing gloves, that his hands would heal up, but first thing he wanted to do was learn how to handle a bat.
Now, at last, Kenny felt that Willie was ready to play ball. Kenny put Willie in a series of games against Dodger rookies living in the area. Now Kenny would be able to see how Willie would perform against first-class competition.
I felt that this day was one of the big days in his life as well as my own. After many hard months of training, I knew that Willie Davis was ready to go into professional ball.
The next day, Kenny took Willie to see Fresco Thompson, head of the Dodger farm system.
So I went into Frisco's office, and he comes up to me in this big, deep voice. He says, "Hello, Willie." He kind of scared me.
Kenny's told me some nice things about you. Glad to have you with us. Will you sit down, please, Miss Davis and Willie?
Fresco Thompson, relying on Kenny's judgment, had a minor league contract waiting for Willie. It was a big day for Kenny Myers, for Mrs. Davis, and for Willie. Signing with the Los Angeles Dodgers was the culmination of all his dreams.
You stand right there, Willie. All right, now, Willie, since you've signed the contract, we'll put the cap on you. You're officially a member of the family. We're delighted, of course, to...
Willie's start in the Dodger organization was a modest one, with a Class C team, the Reno Silver Sox of the California League.
After we sign these boys to their first contract, we like to put them in a league with players of similar ability and similar experience so that they'll get the confidence and build themselves up. Willie responded with a fantastic year at Reno. He led the league in hits, runs, total bases, doubles, and triples, and wound up with the highest batting average in the California State League, 365. On the basis of this fine year, the Los Angeles Dodgers assigned Willie's contract to Spokane of the Pacific Coast League, which is AAA and just a step below the major leagues. This didn't bother Willie at all because he responded again with another fine year, leading the league in runs, hits, total bases, setting a new Pacific Coast League record for three-base hits, and again winding up with the highest batting average in the Coast League, 346.
In the short period of only 2 years, Willie had raced past 300 other players in the Dodger farm organization. Now he would report to Vero Beach for spring training as one of the 38 members of the Los Angeles Dodgers. Of these 38, only 25 would be in a Dodger uniform on opening day. To be there, Willie would have to fight for a position on the team against some of the greatest names in baseball. For Willie Davis, spring training could be the turning point of his young baseball career. This is Dodger Town at Vero Beach, Florida, in the heart of the grapefruit country. Dodger Town is a former naval air base of 110 acres, converted into a $1 million assembly line for developing and polishing some of the country's best professional ball players. For the next 2 months of spring training, it will house and feed 400 players, managers, coaches, trainers, and umpires. Most of the year, Dodger Town lies dormant. But every February, it suddenly comes to life with the arrival of the first ball players. Willie Davis comes here with a reputation as the hottest prospect from the minor leagues. But it's a tremendous leap from the minors to the majors. And Willie is very much aware of this on his first night in camp. The first day of spring training, and the locker room comes alive. Willie dresses alongside Dodgers like Sandy Koufax, Big Frank Howard, Charlie Neal, Tommy Davis, Don Demeter and Jim Gilliam, Duke Snyder and Norm Larker, Larry Sherry, Spring training. These are the Dodgers, and everybody runs. Everybody runs, that is, except manager Walt Alston and his staff. The ball players' bodies have grown soft from lazy winter vacations and the tempting breadbaskets of the banquet circuit.
Take 'em out, take 'em out.
Take 'em a little bit.
The veterans struggle to whip their bodies in shape.
Take 'em out.
Gil Hodges,
1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1,
Johnny Podres,
2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3.
Wally Moon,
Goes in. Again. 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2.
the younger stars sweated out too.
1, 1, 2,
Tommy Davis, Willie's roommate.
1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1.
Norm Larker, number 2 batter in the National
Take 'em
League.
out, take 'em out. Take 'em out. Okay, see the point.
Catcher Norm Sherry,
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
and Willie's rivals for center field loosen their muscles.
Hold.
Duke Snyder, one of baseball's greatest sluggers.
2, 3, and hold. Take 'em out.
Don
take 'em
Demeter,
out.
an 8-year veteran of professional ball.
Get on. Look, quick, short. Come on, find out where that bus is going now. Let's go. Look those orange trees out there.
Kill some grass in the outfield.
Yeah, get off that infield.
Let's go around where you want now.
Come on, Williams.
Run around Doc out there if you can.
Come on, Gil. Stretch out
Come
a
on,
little
Willie,
bit.
run. Look at all my men running real good. Look at them all.
Oh, here they come. Get a load of this. Get a load of this here. Look at this.
What is this, convention?
What is it?
Hey,
Five of you fellas get together, there'll be a strike.
It's pepper game time. Now the players start working with the tools of their trade. Get their eyes, hands, legs to react automatically to the familiar feel of the bat and ball. The players know they're being watched closely by a jury of tough-minded, unsentimental experts. Manager Walter Alston, who led the Dodgers to 3 pennants and World Series victory, and his coaches, Joe Becker, veteran pitching coach, the flamboyant, popular Leo DeRocher, ex-manager of the Dodgers and Giants, back in baseball again. Pete Reeser, Pistol Pete, former batting and base running champion. Clay Bryant, veteran minor league manager. These men, with their vast experience, will work on molding Willie and the other rookies into big league ball players. Willie's future will depend on their judgment of his ability. Dodger scouts also come to camp to work with the players. Some to help with the pitchers, others to help with fielding and batting. And they'll be on hand to give individual instruction. Among them is Kenny Myers. Willie and Kenny are together again, but under different circumstances. Willie is now a seasoned veteran of 2 years in the minors, and he has stories of his own to tell Kenny. But uppermost in the minds of both men is the question that only time can answer. In the face of strong competition, is Willie Davis good enough to make the Dodgers? Now work starts in earnest for Willie in an amazing world of automation. Because there aren't enough pitching arms ready to warm up the batters, ingenious machines have been devised, and every pitch is a strike. Willie is constantly aware of his competition, the determination of Don Demeter, and the slugging power of the team's top veteran, Duke Snyder.
I was surprised because Dodger Town has so many machines, and they have these batting cages. You go over there and you stand up. It's really good for working because this cage throws a fastball. You can work on different situations that come up in a game. And the strangest machine of all is this machine they call Iron Might. It's just like a regular pitcher out there on the mound. It throws curveballs, fastballs, and you have to play a regular game just like it's the pitcher. Now, it's a new experience, and all in all, it was fun. Oh, and they have this other machine, too. You get about 50 yards from it, and it slings the ball so far, and you have to run after it. Boy, oh boy, this is really strenuous because it takes a lot out of you and it really gets you into shape.
Get your throw low. Get that ball away quick. Fire it in there. Atta boy, good throw. Come on now, Willie, do the same thing now. A little life on the ball, Willie. Willie, come on, a little quicker, Willie. Willie, you got to come in, get the ball quick. Come on now, get in there. Show me how to do it right now. I know you can do it. Don't give nobody no extra base. Come on. Atta boy, get in there real quick. That's the boy, Willie. Now you got it down good. Atta boy.
Well, run up in here and then run parallel to the fence and jump up. Let's try that again. All right, go. Atta boy. That's the way to do it. Good. Let's try that once again, Will.
After a day's workout, the tension eases off. It's time for relaxation. The time has now come to play ball. For the old-timers, the first inter-squad game is a routine affair. But for Willie, it's his first big test. Manager Alston divides the players into teams under coaches DeRocher and Reeser.
Don't throw the curve too hard. I divided the teams only in 2 teams today instead of 3. And here is Leo's team. Roseboro, Julia, Struley are the catchers. Gilliam Neal at second, Wills and Shirley at short, Charlie Smith and Norris at third. The pitchers on Leo's team, Kalmus, Rocco, Loya, Hunter, and Ortega. Nan and Harkness are the first basemen. On Peach Club, Camilli, Sherry, and Bevels. Aspromonte and Plumley at second, Lillis and Krasuski at short, Tommy Davis and Lee John at third. The outfielders, Moon, Davis, Demeter, Arnett, and R. Smith. The pitchers, Sherry, Rickard, Paranowski, Tillotson.
Willie now must prove himself, not only to the coaches and manager Alston, but to the top brass of the Dodger organization. General Manager Buzzy Bavasi, a tough, uncompromising judge of baseball talent. Dodger President Walter O'Malley, who looks forward to another championship team. And Fresco Thompson. There are other keen eyes sizing up Willie Davis. The baseball writers. And the fans, always searching for a new hero. In his first time at the plate, Willie draws Don Drysdale, strikeout king of the National League. Everything goes right for Willie.
There we go again, in the front of the mirror. I think I'm going down there and ask the ham down the hall here to get me a big mirror.
Gets results, buddy. How's that look?
As good as ever, Willie. You always get good swing, just as long as you get your top hand in there, that's all.
How about that game today we had?
That's something else, man. When I left, we were getting ripped.
We got beat bad, though, but I felt real good. I got a couple of good hits, and geez, everything was just nice. You know?
Yeah, you had a good day. You had a good top hand on your second hit today. I won't forget that. That's what they're trying to stress on me, you know, getting the top hand so I can get a lot of those line drives or maybe pop flies over that left field screen in the Coliseum. I'm not doing it. They jammed me about 50, 60 times last year.
Yeah, I saw him a couple of times.
I just hope I'm there with you.
Opening day in the Coliseum?
Oh, wouldn't that be nice?
Nice.
In front of your home people?
Yes, sir.
I wish they had a direct line to New York to my people.
Oh, well, they're going to be in L.A.
Yeah, they'll be there, but I got a whole lot of friends. I can't support them.
It's rough. We got a hard job to go ahead of us.
That's true. I just want to be there. And if I can get a chance, and I'm trying to show them my best. Hey, what about you running around second base today? What happened to that wide turn?
I don't know. I do that often. I got to cut that out.
I do it, too. I just saying, I can't lean toward third. I don't know what happens when I hit those bases. You know, I take them wide turns.
I tell you what it is. I'm coming around there so fast. I mean, it's hard to cut down. You got to go wide.
That's true. You know, it's Gilliam and Moore, they kind of slow up just for an instant, and then they take off again.
Right.
As soon as they hit the bag. That's what we have to learn, I guess.
Gilliam was working with me today, you know, on drag bunting and laying it down. He's showing me something.
He has a good idea of his theories.
And Leo was talking to me today. He said, if you could get that Willie, he says, you make all the money you need, buddy. Just keep working at it.
Really?
Okay, Leo. You're my man, you know.
Yeah. He's something different, isn't he?
Yeah.
He's crazy at times.
Smooth man, though.
As the inter-squad games continue, every run, every hit, every error is carefully recorded by Dodger statistician Alan Roth. These statistics will reveal to the coaching staff the progress of each player.
Take five. Strike two. Strike three.
Like all ball players, from time to time, Willie falls into a slump.
Sometimes I used to have bad days. Nothing would go right. I'd get in the game, I'd strike out. I even dropped a couple of pop flies, and boy, did I feel bad.
Sometimes Willie would have a bad day and would sit down and try to talk things out, figure out what he had done wrong, and after we'd get through talking, he would realize that he's not the only one that has had any troubles. Going into big league baseball is something that takes a lot of thought, a lot of patience, a lot of work.
If any of you see any mistakes that he does, or any way we can help this guy.
Early every morning, the coaching staff meets in their locker room to confer with manager Alston about the progress of the various players. And Willie's slump comes up for discussion.
I want to do it. What do you think? What do you need to work on?
He come up to me. He wants to work on getting better lead off of first base and charging ground balls in the outfield.
I think he needs it too, Pete. There's no doubt that he's aggressive on the bases. He's not afraid to run. But
he likes to run. If he can get off the base a little bit further, he's going to steal out sack flash.
Let's give him a little special attention, Leo. Joe, you pick out a pitcher, a Padre, or somebody's got to change the pace, curve.
Going to learn to drag the ball.
Yeah, okay. A little batting practice on certain pitches. I think maybe uppercuts on certain pitches, and maybe that machine will do a good job on it.
Well, I know one thing. He'll have everybody crazy before the season's out. If he learns to drag that ball a little bit, you got to move in on him now the way he can run.
Well, Leo, I think Gilliam is working with him on that. I think he's doing a good job with him on that.
That's great. We better take a look, Walt, at some of these kids on these fly balls. They're a little weak on these balls popping up in the air. About four of them yesterday.
You're talking about my club, aren't you?
Well, love, I saw some of those Humpty Dumptys. The fly ball goes up, they get hit on top of the head out there.
I hit two more yesterday, I'd win the game.
That's right.
Every little move I made, I knew there was somebody watching me. They watch you from the time you leave the clubhouse to the time you return. Everything you do, it goes noticed. They notice every little mistake you make. They can tell you at the end of the day everything you did wrong, and they want you to try to correct it. So when I come out of that clubhouse in the morning, I'm always on my toes because I know that everybody's watching me. And above all, Walt Alston.
Willie is aware that he's in trouble, and he works hard to pull himself out of his slump.
One day I took Willie down to the tennis court as I noticed his bat was dragging somewhat, and I felt that if I could get his backhand a little faster, it would help him to get the bat out front.
Training and practice are coming to an end. And gradually, the roster of Dodger potentials is being cut down, and players are being reassigned to minor league teams. But Willie is still in the running.
But there again, you're asking me to judge kids in a major league who haven't yet proven themselves, and the tough thing is to know, I think, that just when these kids are going to reach their peak.
As training ends, the baseball writers press manager Alston for a progress report on the rookies.
But they're going to level off somewhere, and after they've faced major league pitching a couple rounds, and we may find out they got a weakness we don't know anything about.
Waller, supposing that Willie and Don Demeter are in the lineup at the same time, and of course they're both center fielders, which one would you play in center field?
Well, yeah, there's no doubt that either Willie or Demeter would be adequate in center field. But in fact, fine defensive center fielders. The only thing left to choose between would be the arms, and feeling that Demeter has a stronger arm, I would put him in right field where I could make better use of the strong arm.
Now, if you were going to open the season tomorrow, Walt, would Willie be in your starting lineup?
You got me there pretty good. Bob, I don't know. I think when the season starts, if you say this to yourself, I'm going to go. I know who's going to pitch against me. I know where I'm going to play. I'm going to play 9 of the best men that I've got available. If Willie Davis happens to be, in my mind, on opening day, one of these 9, he'll play. If somebody else, then Willie would be on the bench and the other guy would be in. I don't tell you can go wrong if you say to yourself, well, I'm going to use my 9 best men.
About that time, I visited Willie at Vero Beach.
Willie, you're about to leave for your first real big league competition on the grapefruit circuit. Are you confident, and are you looking forward to this competition?
Well, Mike, actually, I'm looking forward to this competition. I'm not nervous or anything. I just want to play baseball, and this grapefruit league, I think it'll give you a little pre-competition, sort of.
Are you nervous about your chances of making the first team?
No, I'm not. I'm not the nervous type. I don't know if you know what I mean, but anyway, I figure I got a real good chance of making the club, and I'm not worried at all.
Willie, what is there about baseball that's so important to you? Why is it that you want to play ball so badly that you even gave up a chance to go to college on a scholarship?
Well, I don't know whether it's important or not. It's just something I like doing. I like playing baseball. Ever since I was a young kid, I always dreamed about playing baseball. And I said that one day, if I got the chance, that I'd put everything I had into it and I'd play.
And looking forward to your baseball career, what's most important? Money, fame, or just the competition of playing ball?
Well, I think it's all those things put together, Mike. It's for money, it's for, well, naturally, security, you know, for the future. My parents, they always wanted to see me make good, and I want to make good for them. And I think it'd be good if I could really make it. And there's, well, all those things like fame, the competition, that's all part of it, too. It's all part of it.
And there's another part that Willie rarely talks about. The challenge, the excitement of playing major league ball.
Hey, Willie, take your Bobby down now. Come on. Get a good ball. See you hit one. Throw up that lollipop. Hey. Come on, Willie. All right, all right, all right, all right. He hasn't got that many pitches. He's only got a fastball and a slow ball. Come on, buddy. Come on, kid. Look out. Now, all right, all right, all right. Well, he's only got 2 pitches. Willie, come on down with the ball. Get a strike. See you hit one. Come on. Come on, see you tie into one. Look out. All right, all right, all right, all right, all right, all right. Go on, come on, come on, go on. Come on, make your turn. Make your turn. Go on, go on.
Dodger Town is empty now. Willie Davis and his fellow players have packed their bats and gloves and left on the long, hard tour of the grapefruit circuit to play exhibition games against American and National League teams. These games won't count on the official record, but they will do a lot to decide the future of Willie Davis. For every time he steps up to bat, gets on base, or fields a ball, he'll be studied carefully by manager Walt Alston and his staff. They'll appraise his performance under stress, judge his ability to react in a crisis, to come through in a clutch, against big league competition. It'll be by far the most important test in his young career. From here on out, it's all in the hands and the legs and the heart of Willie Davis. Memorial Coliseum, Los Angeles.
As well as interesting features and photos of your favorite drivers. You can get your copy right now from the vendors in the stand. We will be giving you the batting orders for this game in a very few moments.
Spring training is behind the Dodgers. Now the team, cut down to the 25 regulars, is ready to battle for the pennant. Manager Alston calls out his starting lineup.
Here's the lineup for today, fellas. Wills, Willie Davis, Moon.
It has taken Willie Davis 3 years, hundreds of games, and thousands of hours of hard work to run the 2 short miles from his home in East Los Angeles to the Coliseum.
Number 3, Willie Davis, center field.